Hello. These are the English versions of my book reviews that I'm doing. This is the English version for my first book review, which was on Ernst Jünger's Storm of Steel, or in German, in Stahlgewittern. I plan on making these English versions shortly after I upload the Latvian versions, since that's my first language and the sources in Latvian on these types of literary works are very rare. So I thought that perhaps someone should bear the torch, if not all too well, but at least something is done. So yeah, I'm doing these without any editing, without any real finesse, so to speak. These are just flowing thoughts that I have on the literary works that we're presented by. So, what did I think of the book? Let's find out. Tell me what you eat, and I will tell who you are, said Jean-Arthem Gelat. Tell me of your relation to pain, and I will tell you who you are, said Ernst Jünger. Storm of Steel is a recollection of Jünger's experiences during the Great War, of his life in trenches and various pastime activities spent in the battlefield. It's a genuine recollection of an experience of a man who sort of has to come to terms with his inevitable death. We can see how Jünger is just torn apart by his wounds and patched up and ready to embark on this journey yet again and again and again. He's just patched up and ready to lay down his life. And the whole thing about this book is that one cannot really describe it properly, in a sense that the experiences that you get by reading it are so intimate that you just have to do it on your own. But I will try to present you a certain image, a certain resume of the book provided by the Jünger himself in one of the final chapters of the book itself, called My Last Storm. I was gripped by the sad and proud feeling of being more closely bound to my country because of the blood shed for her greatness. Why should I conceal that tears smarted in my eyes when I thought of the end of the enterprise in which I had bid my first share? I had set out to the war gaily enough, thinking we were to hold a festival on which all of the pride of the youth was lavished, and I had thought little, once I was in the thick of it, about the ideal I would have to stand for. Now I look back. 4 years of development in the midst of a generation predestined to death, spent in caves, smoke-filled trenches, and shell-illuminated wastes. years enlivened only by the pleasures of a mercenary, the nights of guard after guard in an endless perspective, in short, a monotonous calendar, full of hardships and privation, divided by the red letter days of battles. And almost without any thought of mine, the idea of the fatherland had been distilled from all the afflictions in a clearer and brighter essence. That was the final winnings in a game on which so often all had staked. The nation was no longer for me an empty thought veiled in symbols. And how could it have been otherwise when I had seen so many die for its sake and been schooled myself to stake my life for its credit every minute, day and night, without a thought? And so, strange as it may sound, I learned from this very 4 years of schooling and force, and in all the fantastic extravaganza of material warfare, that life has no depth of meaning, except when it is pledged for an ideal, and that there are ideals in comparison with which the life of an individual, and even of a people, has no weight. And though the aim for which I fought for as an individual, as atom in the whole body of the army, was not to be achieved, the material force cast us apparently to the earth. Yet we learned, once and for all, to stand for a cause, and, if necessary, to fall as befitted man. Yes, I would say that this is really a sufficient summary of the whole mood of the book. Jünger sort of may seem a tad bit nihilistic, and you are actually right in assuming some strains of nihilism in his thought. As considered and expressed by Martin Heidegger, Jünger was the only real and genuine follower of Nietzsche. He expressed that the notion of God is dead is the final manifestation of will to power, which sort of is intertwined in all of the works made by Jünger. Jünger's career was extravagant, to say the least. He pissed off the left, he pissed off the right. He engaged in many activities whom would be very questionable, in a sense that he was a dissident of a revolutionary regime while still being a revolutionary himself. Jünger's whole body of ideas can essentially be described as an ethos of a warrior. To live with a purpose and to die with a purpose. Thank you for your attention. Until next time.